It's a typical day on an ordinary street in Bali, Indonesia. The street appears to be next to an airport, but is it? It's not every day that you see a Boeing 737 lined up next to Dunkin' Donuts, but I am on a tropical island after all. Islands aren't necessarily known for having a lot of space. I slowly inch closer and closer to see what's the deal with this 737 that seems to be ready for takeoff, but something seems oddly strange about it. So I'm here in Indonesia just chilling. I'm here for my friend's wedding. My friend of 20 years finally decided to tie the knot, and she made me promise that I would go to her wedding. So I'm such a good friend. I sacrificed and flew all the way out here to Bali, Indonesia, this tropical paradise, just to see my friend get married. Aren't I a good friend? So that wedding is today, and I just have a few hours before the wedding. But since it's my first day here in Indonesia, I thought I'd go out and explore the island. I figured today would be a good day to go out and find the weirdest things that you could find, things you would not expect to find on a tropical paradise. And I'm gonna take you guys with me. So let's go. Denpasar, Indonesia. It's effectively the gateway into Bali. And should you find yourself craving a snack, Dunkin' Donuts is the spot, yo. But I digress. Oddly enough, I couldn't help but notice the 737 parked right next to the spot where I was enjoying my delicious donut, and it was screaming at me to come over and investigate. Now, you would think a 737 would normally be hanging out at an airport, but not this 737. This 737 was just chilling in an empty lot, right smack in the middle of one of the most frequented cities in Indonesia. And judging by the looks of it, the elements have not been kind to this bird of paradise. And it has been gutted of a key part which is crucial for this bird to take flight: the engine. Only the cowling remains, which has been left to rust and has fallen victim to punctures and graffiti. And the fuselage of the aircraft is in no better shape. Clearly, the flying days of this aircraft are over. But why would someone deliberately dump a beautiful marvel of aviation in the middle of an empty field? That was the question I set out to answer. So this plane's a big mystery. I've asked around, and I get the same story. You know, the person who bought this plane bought it with the intentions of turning it into a tourist attraction. They were going to turn it into a restaurant, cinema, so people could come here and enjoy good food and watch a movie. But somehow this guy ran out of money and the project ended abruptly. But the airplane still sits here. Ironically, it is a tourist attraction because people like me come from all over the world just to see this airplane, this abandoned airplane. After spending a couple of hours of trying to dig into the history of this machine, I decided to move on. Out in the middle of nowhere, on a lonely, desolate road, I discovered yet another weird attraction. If you're not paying attention, you are sure to miss it. But if you get into the weeds and you look real hard, you will see it. Is that an airplane? Of course I had to take a closer look. I don't know why Indonesia has such an infatuation with airplanes in the middle of nowhere, but this plane was in a remote area. Why? Before I could get to the plane, I had to deal with this little barrier. It didn't look very high until I got close to it, and of course, my perspective changed. Well, would you look at that? Looks like we've come up on a little barrier. This baby right here. But that's not going to stop me from seeing this airplane. Conveniently, those that came before made a makeshift staircase which made scaling the wall a non-issue. With minimum effort, I scaled the wall in a matter of seconds and got my first good view of the plane. Like the plane before,
It was a 737, only this plane was situated in the middle of a stone quarry.
Looks like we got ourselves quite a conundrum here. Is that the correct usage of that word? Did I say that right? Doesn't matter. Sounds good. Quite a conundrum. It appears that we can't get down here to get up close and personal with this aircraft. This airplane is located in a quarry, and it seems like they have all the access points blocked off. But I'm gonna look around and see if I can get down there, because I really do want to see the plane up close. I saw a picture on the internet where this lady was standing on the wing and took a picture of herself, so I totally want to do that.
After it became apparent that I was not going to gain access on this side of the quarry, I decided to explore the other side. The other side was significantly higher than the side that I came from, so it was looking doubtful that I would get access to the plane.
So I know it's not impossible to get down there, because I actually saw a man working down there. I'm not sure what he was doing. It looked like some kind of farming type thing. But I get the sense that the general public is not welcome down there on the airplane. They just want you to come for the viewing.
From my vantage point, I surveyed the land and looked for a possible access point. This small hole in the fence was my last chance to get down to the plane.
Okay, I was up on top of that quarry over there, looking down, and I found a little hole. I thought maybe I could squeeze through the fence to get down to the airplane. Let me show you what that hole looks like now that I'm up close and personal with it. Yeah, I don't think I'll be squeezing in that. Apparently, the guy who bought this airplane paid 3 billion rupees just to buy this airplane. The taxi driver told me that. He said it was very expensive, but 3 billion rupees comes out to roughly about $3,000. A brand new airplane costs $140 million. So $3,000 seems like such a steal, even if the airplane doesn't have engines. You know, it's a solid chunk of metal, and I'm sure there's parts that can be refurbished. $3,000 sounds like a steal, but hey, what do I know? I'm not a mechanic, and I certainly don't sell aircraft, but thought that was a fun fact.